Welcome to my property exam strategy video for spring 2020. And this is a take-home exam due to the coronavirus pandemic right now. And I'll say this, like I said in my contract exam strategy video, very rare will it be that any 1L exam, whether property, contracts, civil procedure, very rare will it be a take-home exam or take an exam online. But since we can't be in the class right now, we had to take this at home, online. So the strategies that I am using, will be using, showing you, will be tailored to me taking it at home versus me taking it in class. Now, are some of the strategies universal that you could apply? Yes, absolutely. But I don't want this video to be a video that you just follow step by step, because this is just one idea, one perspective, one way. Everybody learns different. Everybody approaches different, especially when it comes to academics. We all learn different. And here's another thing. Every professor is unique in the way they teach the class, approach the class, and the way they want to see their answers on an essay exam. So the best advice I can give is to consult your professors within the first month of the semester, ASAP. If it's past that, go see them right now and ask them, how do they want the essay formatted? How do they want it? Because that's all that's going to matter. You following my steps is not going to get you the results. However your professor wants it, that's what's going to work. These are just my ideas that I've been just working on, honing on, different things that I've been trying over the past 3 years and being accepted back into law school this past semester, fall 2019. So let's just be just that. So I don't want this to be like, hey, down the line, hey, Lamar, I use your 10 keys and it didn't work for me. Well, kind of told you this up front. Some of them may work, but again, it all is going to depend on how you learn and how your professor, because some professors don't like the IRAC method. It all depends. Me, personally, I actually like the IRAC method, and my keys to victory is based and formulated off of the IRAC method. I really didn't understand it when I was first in law school, the first time before I got dismissed, but I've been working with it over the years, and it's pretty simple. I like it, and I've been using it. It works. Again, see your professor. But I hope this video gives you some ideas to incorporate in your strategy, your game. That's all that matters. And I'll say this before I begin. These particular strategies, or just any strategies in general, like I like to make it real to us like we're in law practice. The best lawyer can go into a case with the best strategy, have their T's crossed, X's and O's, I's, all that, everything going into it. They got it down pat, and then end up going into it and losing the case. I mean, it happens every day. Yes, it's not publicized like in mass media or like sports and stuff like that, but it's happening every day. That's just the nature of the industry that we're in. They could be two great lawyers, but one side has to win, one side has to lose. Both have great strategies, but hey, one prevails. So this is not the end-all, be-all strategy that I'm showing you. This is just how I'm approaching it. And however you learn and however you approach it, it's fine. So will I know, will this work? I won't know until I get into the exam and afterwards, and I'll let you know if it worked or it didn't work. But I'm not here to just impose my strategy to say this is what you need to do, what you should do. These are just ideas. So I just wanted to say that before I get into it, because somebody may say down the line that these didn't work for them. Again, this is just how I am doing it and just the way that I'm approaching it. So let's get right on into it. Key number 1, having extreme awareness and hustle on timing. This is a 3-hour exam. 3 hours goes by very fast, especially with essays. So we had to have something in place that governs our time. And for this, it's 6 essay questions only, no multiple choice. It's really 5 questions because my professor gave us 4 exam questions beforehand that he said at least one of them are going to be on the exam verbatim. So I already written out all 4 of those questions, and whichever one he chooses, I'm just going to copy and paste right into my exam. So that's going to take off some time and save me some time, essentially. So with that, 5 essay questions, doing the math, giving myself at least 32 minutes per essay. Now, I may not need all of that time per essay, depending on how many parties are in a fact pattern and how many issues, sub-issues. So that's why I say the timing is a little tricky when it comes to essay exams, and it just all depends. But I have different timings for each situation. But for what I'm showing you with my keys, this is just for 2 parties where I'm arguing one side and I'm arguing the other side. But there's more than 2 parties, then I have my timing down on it. But 32 minutes, nothing over that. If it's over that, then I just need to move on to the next. But I should be good to go with 32 minutes per question. That'll put me at about 8:40 p.m. because I'm taking it at 6 p.m. and it's due at 9. So give me a little wiggle room with that. So that goes on to the next key. Number 2, be concise in the writing. Do not overfluff the analysis. And when I put these words in caps, this is not for you, so to say. This is me reminding myself, just reminding myself throughout the exam, like, be concise, Lamar, be concise, Lamar, extreme awareness, extreme hustle, on time, Lamar. This is just like reminders to me. So in this being concise, you can relate to this if you're an American student. For the majority of us, I don't know how they do it in other countries, but through elementary, middle, high school, and even undergrad, we've been programmed, taught, like when we see essay or when we write an essay, it's like, ooh, I need to write as much as I need to on the paper. If it's not 2 pages, like, oh my gosh, this is not enough, or I need to just information dump. Like, we've been taught to information dump just a whole bunch of stuff on the paper. It may not make any sense. We just dump it on there. And that's why I'm saying over fluff, giving too much information where we just don't have that time. It's 3 hours, 5 essays, 6 essays, essentially. Now, if it was 1 or 2 essays, then okay, we can expand and write more. But I'm with the assumption that, hey, my law professors don't expect this long, drawn-out answer per question because they understand we're in a time crunch and we have to focus on 5, 6 different essay questions. So if you're writing out this long 2-3 page for one question, you're not utilizing the time for the other questions. And the aim of the exam is to thoroughly answer and analyze each question and not make it so fluffy and make it look pretty for each question. If you have the time, great. But if you don't, you got to keep it moving and move on. And this is something that I've learned past semester, fall 2019, my Taurus professor, where we did these writing exercises each week from old exam questions he would give us. And we had these word limits, 250, sometimes it'd be 500, sometimes it'd be 1,000. And the reason why he said he did this, because sometimes on a bar exam, you have a writing sample, you're not going to have all these words and all these pages to write. You got to get straight to the point. make factual inferences when necessary, but just get right to it and don't fluff it. Got to get rid of middle school, high school, undergrad mentality, American-wise. Again, I don't know how to do it in other countries, but I know me. I'm guilty of this too. Like, I can go on and on and on and on and on, just like in my videos. I can go on and on and on. But here, you got to get straight to the point, because all the professor is really concerned about is, did we use the right rule of law for the particular fact pattern, and did we make the right arguments using the facts in the fact pattern? All the extra facts that are not there and what we know, we don't get any points for that. So wasting our time on that. And there's something that I didn't know when I first was in law school. It's something that I've bombed, failed at, and learned. And here's my wisdom with this: like, be concise. It's going to make a world of a difference. Heck, why do we think law school personal statements are double space 2 pages? Just imagine if they were single space. Man, we'd be cramming every single thing in it, telling a whole life story. I know I would. Or just imagine if they made it more than 2 pages. Like, we'll be putting so much stuff in it. But law school admissions committee, they don't want to read all that stuff. Yes, they care about us, they care about a story, but they don't want to know all that. And it's just like the same thing for a judge. Like, they put limits on briefs for a reason, or else our minds, we will go on and on and on and on and on. So we got to give a cap for ourselves, especially in a time crunch like this. And I will show you my new and improved essays from those 4 exam questions I just mentioned, which I'm gonna copy and paste on into my exam. Where is it? All right, this is it right here. So these are 4 exam questions, and here's question A, question number 1. And as you see, yeah, I know you see Kim, Chloe, that's my professor's fact pattern, but it's not so drawn out. You know, it's within 1,000 words, but it's using the IRAC method. Not so, but it's straight to the point. So just wanted to show you guys this. And whichever one he uses, I'm just gonna copy and paste it on in there. But these are just my examples that I wanted to show you, that it's straight to the point, answering the question, laying out the rule of law, and analysis, 2 to 3 sentences, and boom, keep it going, we keep it moving. So key number 3, read the call of the question first. And I'm gonna actually put this with key number 4 as well. Play lawyer to both sides, being an advocate for the plaintiff first, or judging each fact pattern. So again, as American students, we've been taught to read top to bottom, read the paragraph first, and read the question, then go down to the answers, but we cannot bring that outdated test-taking strategy into law school. Read the call of the question first. What this is going to do is let us know what we need to be looking in the fact pattern, and then coupling with that with number 4, we need to be playing the lawyer to both sides. But in this case, I'm going to be the advocate for the plaintiff first, versus this way that we've been approaching exams backwards, like, oh, I'm just a student, I'm just taking exams, oh my gosh. No, we're actual lawyers. Like, these are actual clients, and these fact patterns, simulating ourselves, making it real to ourselves that these clients and these fact patterns are paying us a whole bunch of money to solve their legal issue. So if we can approach it that way, make it real to ourselves, like giving ourselves this training right now, not waiting until we become lawyers or judges, but simulating ourselves as if we're the real lawyer right now, just makes it even more real to us, that once we read the fact patterns, like, okay, I'm going all in for the plaintiff. Like, when I'm reading it, it's like, okay, I need to see what the rule of law is and what the facts are and the arguments that I need to make in the rule of law and whatnot. And same thing, judge. Actually, we need to play both when it comes to exams. essay exams, but it all depends on the professor. So my professor, he wants the arguments, both sides, and then how the court would rule. So for example, I'll give you an example. And this one was for question C that I showed you guys, the third essay question that I just showed you. This was a fact pattern. So this is a short fact pattern. Of course, all the fact patterns are not going to be this short, but for the purpose of this whiteboard and fit as much as I can on it, I chose this one. So read and call the question first. So boom, I already know, all right, I'm going all in for Nap, the claims that she can assert against she and Lear, and she and Lear would raise in their defenses. So first I'm going to play Nap's side, then I'm going to play the defense side, and then second, at the end, how will a judge rule? So we play that. So let me go back. Quickly, number 5, quickly read and actively look for key facts, D language in each fact pattern. So for property exam, it's unique in its own way where party A is going to convey some land to party B, and the grant, deed, will, and it's going to have some language in it, some ambiguous language or some magic word language, like when it comes to states and land, joint tenancy, and whatnot. So we need to know, once we see it, like, okay, boom, all right, we know what it is. So that I'm giving myself 3 minutes to do that. And this just depends on how long the fact pattern is. And with key number 6, give myself 3 more minutes depending on how long the fact pattern is, reread it if I need to, and then write down the issues. So going back here, this is a fairly short one, but I color coded to the party. So she has green, Lear has blue, Nap has yellow, but these are all the actions throughout the fact pattern. And I'm just gonna pick out a random thing. I read this right here, that agreed to hold a necklace in favor for Lear's friend while Nap was on extended vacation. So light bulb pops in my head. Oh, a bailment was made. So, okay, I already know that I'm going to need to be arguing for a bailment and that Lear owes Nap in some kind of way. Just kind of shortened version of that. So number 7, quickly outline, bullet point on paper, one side, the plaintiff's claim, by first notating the rule of law I would use and why their key facts do or do not apply to the rule of law. So this is just 5 minutes notating it, not really fancy. I'm not writing out like a whole bunch of sentences. It's just maybe 2 to 3 words, label out the rule of law. So for example, just put bailment. I'm not going to write out the whole rule of law bailment and all its elements. I just need to just know bailment and refer back to my notes, or if I know it, and just write down how each element applies or doesn't apply, just using a few words. But this is just kind of like a roadmap before I actually type out the analysis, and just to kind of get things going. And then doing it for number 8, same thing, doing it for one side, give myself 5 minutes, and then doing it for the defendant side. What would the defendant say? What are their defenses? Are they going to use the same rule of law or not the same rule of law? But just notating that down before I actually type it, because once I start typing, then, hey, it's time to just roll. So I'm only going to give myself 10 minutes to outline, and if it's more than 10 minutes, then I just need to just start typing. So if I haven't finished all of labeling out the arguments, rule of law, I just need to just go right into start typing. 14 minutes. Again, hopefully I don't need that much time. I should be able to do it within that time. Cool. But that's the max time I'm going to give myself. And it's going to depend on how many parties and how many sub issues are in it. But 14 minutes, that's all I have. And then move on to the next. Then key number 10, quickly state how the court would decide the case using the rule of law. So that's the conclusion in the IRAC, essentially, and how a judge would rule. And this just needs to be 2 to 3 sentences, straight to the point, bam, boom, on to the next essay question. last thing I need to show you guys is not only here, but here's an outline that for the rule of law, it's 47 pages. I'm not going to go through all of it. So for example, right of publicity, I need to copy and paste that right on in there so I don't have to write out the whole thing. And these are my class notes. And then I also have, oh, where are you? 2 column notes. So this is great to use for an essay exam where here is the rule of law and the elements for it. I don't know why I said elements right here, but here are the elements right here. And the defense side of what they would say. And I did this for a majority of the topics in rule of law, and it works because it's not going to be so pretty to where it's just like, oh, we're just arguing from one side. No, we need to know what the other side would counter argue. So this is just a great way to use another, I guess, note-taking strategy, so to say. I like it. I just use more than just one method to take notes and how to learn and to understand it in a way to where I can represent both sides. It doesn't matter what the facts look like, but that's just one way. And then also, this right here is one of the supplemental study aids that I use, which I'll show in future videos. Flowchart, which is like a step-by-step analysis. And I should have used this actually early on in the semester, but I like this because it gives you like a checklist and questions to ask yourself and how to approach it. So I'm going to be using this on the exam as well. Again, it's open book and take home. So everything is free reign. Of course, I can't copy anything in here, but again, that's why I have my notes, and I'll be golden and ready to go, ready to roll. So those are my keys of victory, my strategy that I'm going to be using on an exam. 6 essays is going to be a battle. It's going to be a clash, but let's have fun. Let's dominate tonight. Let's go.